Whoa, what's up home skillets? Welcome to another live stream. Tonight we are continuing on with our Turkish themed week. The camera seems a bit dark. Turkish themed week, yes, that's right. So we are going to do another couple of Turkish dishes that I've never cooked before, but I am interested to try. And so we're all gonna follow along and see where it leads us. Had such a late lunch, I'm so full of sushi. Being this full makes it hard to cook, but the show must go on, as they say. So we are going to do that. But before we do anything on the Turkish front, we are going to set ourselves up a sorbet. If you are here for the last stream, you will have seen that we have these weird segmented lemons, which they taste great. And we have a ice cream machine on loan. And I've got a simple syrup, so we're going to make a lemon and mint sorbet. I've never made a sorbet before. I've made a granita in the past, but yes, never a sorbet, so I'm pretty keen to see how that turns out. It was a couple of streams ago that we lemony snickets, yep. The plum and cinnamon ice cream turned out fantastic. It benefited a lot from being frozen in the freezer overnight, but without doing it, it was more like a soft serve, which was fine. But I was genuinely impressed with how well that came out. So we're going to try a sorbet tonight, which should be pretty dang refreshing. So I have prepared a little bit in advance because I wanted things as chilled as possible. This is a simple syrup, so this is water and sugar, but I've also put some fresh mint into it while I was boiling it and making a solution out of it. But that's all it is. It's just sugar and water and a little bit of mint, chilled. I didn't want to overwhelm the lemon with mint, so I kept. What am I trying to say here? I could have used more mint because I can't taste a huge amount of it at this stage, but there's a little bit of it there. So this is 2 cups worth, and we are looking for about a cup of lemon juice. And that's pretty much it. I mean, sorbet is not a complicated proposition. So let's get that on, and then we'll get the machine plugged in. I need a cup. And we'll get that chilling while we move on to the other dishes. What's on the menu at Cafe 49 tonight? Man, it smells good. So yeah, that's different to me. So I'm not sure what's going on with this tree. It might be one of those grafted kind of hybrid things. Yeah, that's definitely segmented. Homemade veg pizza 2 ways, excellent. Oh yeah, you've definitely got to get in on this deep pan pizza dough recipe that I've been using. It's brilliant. Whoa, that's a soft lemon. I feel like I want to explore juicing technology a bit further than just your straight up early era juicer, because I find the flesh holds back a lot of the juice. What was I going to say about pizza? Oh yeah, next time we do a thing here, I think we will do some deep pan pizza. Because, yes. And given how many tomatoes that are about to ripen in the backyard, I want to make some River Cottage passata as the tomato base. It'll be a flavour experience. Oh yeah, I've done that recently. Did I even do it on stream? I can't remember. But yep, straight on top. Or you could fry them a bit to crisp them. Like I just sort of mince them up, and then yeah, just even in a dry pan or just a pan with a little bit of oil, fry them so that you get a little bit of crisp. That worked pretty well. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do. It's got a really convenient juicer hole here. Yes, I think I'll strain this. Oh, no, won't he? Meanwhile, I've just been assembling my automatic chicken door. Actually, I'm missing a piece that is obviously coming in a different package, but we should, within the next couple of days, have a science fiction chicken coop. to protect the new occupants, which I hope to get on Saturday morning. So I'm looking for 2 Wyandottes to add to keep Dottie company. And I'm not sure what colours are going to be available, but yeah, they're really, really attractive blue and gold laced Wyandottes. So I'll go out there and have a look and see. Oh yes, good. Yes, Mum had mentioned. This camera's off angle. Hello, Whitey. Whoa. That's the wrong way. What's up, Dig Modem? I drove past you earlier today. I said, there's Ding Bottom, and then I waved, and then you didn't see. Oh yeah, boosted. Yeah, I've got to book mine in. That's for true. You want some more Whitey? Robbie was saying his booster made him quite ill. That was, I think that was Moderna, I think he said. But yeah, so I'll book in for a Pfizer booster sometime next week, I think. So I'm going to strain this. Did you get boosted with AstraZeneca? I did ask the doctor and he didn't seem to think there would be too much of a difference mixing and matching them. Oh, Pfizer. Oh, yeah, I see. It must have been what caused the blank stare as well. And lemon zest. All 3 for the fizzer. Can I go to AIS to get that done as well, or do I? I haven't looked it up, to be honest. And then that should be the end of it. It looks like the US is about to start the messaging for de-escalation and normalization to turn it into a pandemic. Oh no, those damn fools. Every time I think about putting effort into telling to shove it, I never do, because someone else on the internet's already going to do that for me. So, okay, AIS does booster. That's what we'll do. Okay, don't spill it. Yeah, very, very odd. I mean, odd in one way, but, you know, I guess these kinds of anti-vax things, they've been around forever. It's, you know. It's just the nature of things. Now, let's... Don't spill it, home skillet. Zest, machine on thickens. Okay, get the freezer bowl. I did reduce the amount of sugar a little bit. So I'm more interested in a zesty and light rather than cloyingly sweet sorbet. And so it was just, this goes in here. No, wait. Let's check the manual before I just pour syrup all through Jess's machine. Bowl. Mix them a jigger. Lit 'em a jig. Yeah. Ugh. Does it have more than one setting? No, just on and off. And so then I think it's just pour it in. Stir to combine, turn the machine on, pour the lemon mixture into the freezer bowl and mix till it thickens about 30 minutes. Done. Oh yeah, I was thinking about that. And yeah, I suppose if you leave it too long, it starts to taste like freezer. Oh, I'm worried about spilling this. Didn't spill a drop. Oh yeah, well, maybe she can make one for my birthday. Maybe I can make a casada in this. Yes, COVID took its toll on birthday celebrations. Now, as we saw when we did the plum ice cream, it really does seem to be towards the last sort of 30 minutes that it really starts to thicken up. And given this is sort of just going to bubble away, I'm going to put it in the hall and let it go there. Done. Beans. I might hold on to some for a salmon dish. Yeah. So this is allegedly beans Istanbul style, not Constantinople. Just let them drain. Let's just have a look at what we're doing. So again, we're cooking from this cookbook. What did I order last night? I ordered a cookbook from the Scottish Highlands. Ireland, a Scandinavian, like a Norwegian cookbook, and something else. So that's coming. So yeah, green beans Istanbul, we call for beans, 2 medium onions, 2 cups of water, 2 medium tomatoes, I'll use canned tomatoes, quarter cup of oil, half a teaspoon of sugar and salt to taste. And this is, again, interesting because this is sort of low and slow, and so we're cooking these beans for at least 30 minutes, really an hour or longer. And that's a long time to cook beans, in my book, not in this book. So that's fine. I don't know if it's the Turkish way of doing it, or is it the 1960s way of doing it. But we're going to find out. I actually have some beans in the backyard that have started flowering again, so it looks like they're having another shot at it. Or it's just a plant that I didn't notice until now. So it's beans ahoy. I need to check my camera settings. The color profiles are not saving when I disconnect it, and they should be. I'm not sure why. And I have started to collect some new assets for more energetic and exciting raid and follow events. Which largely hinge on the use of digital confetti and loud noises. Okay, so it wants just a cup of water over the top of those. Fine. And then an onion grated. I think this is the key. I certainly haven't cooked beans and onions like this before together. Grater. And it also says to cover these with wax paper. I'm not sure what the difference between that and putting the lid on is. So I think we'll try. We'll put baking paper on. Maybe okay. Yeah, we'll do it. Onion's gone in my eye. And not just the fumes. Minced onion. I'll be like Whitey. Okay. And baking paper. In principle, I like this idea. It makes sense. And it does look weird, but yeah, actually, next time you go to or order Turkish pide from Pide Turkish, try these beans, because I'm not sure if this recipe is exactly what they do, but it was good beans. I don't know, did saucepans not have lids in the 60s or what? Oh well. Obviously some of the moisture is going to escape. Right, well. Cook for 30 minutes on medium heat. Deal. Saute. And clear this away. Hello, Saute. What brings you here? What brings you here? So it's going to have to navigate the automatic chicken door as well. So we'll see. I'll show you guys what it looks like. It does look like a disaster waiting to happen there. So the idea is the company is called Omelette, which I found amusing. So this sits over the existing door of the coupe, and then in oh right, well actually I've added, so it will close itself, and then when it's powered it will open up. It's just an automatic door. It's got a little sensor in here so that chickens don't get squashed if they happen to be going in or out at the time that the door shuts. I don't know if you ever tried to put your hand like in a elevator door, but kind of like that, but using pressure rather than infrared or whatever. But then you have a little control box on the side, and it has a light sensor in it, so we can time it either to yeah, obviously a clock, but with the light sensor with sun up and sun down, it can determine via light levels when the doors need to be open or shut. But definitely, once I get it fixed on it, I need to just keep an eye on how it performs before I sort of let them run free. But it should make a big difference. Like because I don't always or didn't always shut the chickens in, you know, for the years that I've had them. And then when Daisy got gotten by the fox, it was because they let themselves out, which is convenient for me because they come out at dawn. But had they been locked in until just a bit after dawn, probably wouldn't have had the drama that we did. And also closing it at night. So when I go to, bed it's not so bad now, like in summer, but in the middle, late at night, going out the back and shutting it all, it's not the end of the world. But let's let technology do it for us, I say. So that's the omelette automatic chicken door. There'll be a video in Discord once it's up and running. So he wants food. Yeah. Is that good, Slip? I tell you, if you want to see a consumer product that's price varies wildly on the wholesale market, have a look at cat food. Because at the moment, on Amazon, the stuff we usually buy, like a carton of it for like $50 generally, $45, $50. Some of them are over $100 at the moment. It's just nuts. And it also depends on what's in it. So like the chicken and the turkey ones are more expensive at the moment, and the salmon ones are not as expensive. And yeah, the prices will change sometimes on a daily basis. So there's obviously a supply chain issue there. So we just have to get a more basic box. Because, so it's good and all, but I don't know if he's $100 cat food good. Given he's happy to just like chew on a stick, I'm not sure he needs it. All right. It seems like the ingredients, most of the fish and meat are either from France or Spain for this particular brand for some reason. I don't know why. It's weird. But there is certainly something going on that front. Okay. Alright, so once those beans have been cooking for about 30 minutes, we are going to add a mixture on top of them. We're looking for 2 tomatoes, which is generally about half a can of crushed tomatoes. Oil. Half a teaspoon of sugar. Salt. I'm going to add just a touch of pepper and water. Whoa. And we'll just mix this together and have it on standby. Cool. Yep, so after 30 minutes, remove the wax paper, place tomato on top of the beans, oil, sugar and salt, and a cup of water. Put the cover back on and let it cook for another 30 minutes. Yep. It says here serve cold as an appetizer or salad. Yeah, after doing some research, it seems like this can be served hot as well. I'm not going to judge either way, to be honest. So that's pretty much good to go. So the other, there's a few other potato dishes that I was pursuing. This one was, if you think of Turkish and Greek cuisine, you get a lot of potato and lemon, and that's kind of what I'm after this evening. So the only thing I was missing was the dill, but I think this will be all right. So this is potatoes a la Turk. And they're boiled potatoes, and then they're just dressed in a mustard and vinegar oil. It says ground mustard here. Hard to, like, I get the feeling that means powdered mustard. What's up, Jess? We've got some sorbet happening in your machine. It's sitting in the ice cream hall at the moment. What's the haps at your abode? We're just trying to work out whether or not ground mustard means a wet pureed mustard or mustard powder. Actually, it's academic because I only have mustard in a jar, so I suppose it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so it's lemon and mint is what we're doing. And then 2 Turkish dishes. Actually, here's another thing that I don't understand. And you'll get this in modern cookbooks as well, but it's so wash and cook the potatoes in water until tender, drain and then skin them, and then cut them up into very thin slices. I don't understand. There's gnocchi recipes like this as well, where you boil the potatoes whole, let them cool, and then peel them. I'm just not sure how much of a difference that makes. It slows things down because potatoes get very hot and they stay very hot, and it's much easier to peel them when raw, and I can't see why it would make much of a difference. Yeah, it has. That was part of the motivation. Yeah. So we'll get some water on. We'll check the beans. Yeah, they seem to be beaning. And then the dressing, so basically we're boiling the potatoes and then we're dressing them in a mustard and oil vinaigrette, essentially. Mustard, oil, lemon juice, parsley, dill, salt and pepper into a separate bowl. We will. So close to having lunch because it was getting so late, and then I was so hungry and I thought, oh, I could cook earlier, and then I just ate too much sushi and now I'm really slow. So I'm cutting this recipe in half, so we want 2 tablespoons of vinegar. We want So half a teaspoon of mustard. Yeah, I'm just going to have to use wholemeal. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Made a giant bowl of soba noodles, diced spring onions and some tuna and coriander for a late lunch. Yeah, that will do it. As in like cold. 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I've got some soba noodles sitting in the pantry that need to be used. Yeah. Are soba noodles, can you serve them hot? Don't know if I've ever had a hot soba noodle. Cheap and easy and tasty. Well, it ticks all the boxes. Tablespoon of lemon juice. You can, okay. There was a good ramen place on Marcus Clark Street for a while. I don't know if it's still there. And yeah, I didn't get not even a quarter way through their menu, I think. Oops. I reckon we'll add just a little bit more here. Yeah. Arctic Rhinoceros, long-time friend of the channel, he did a soba noodles and salmon with capsicum and something. I can't remember. It was down. Oh well, that's close as well. There was a place called Roti House, and it was just next to it. It's at the bottom of the Marcus Clark Street towards Turner. Yeah, what the hell was it called? There was also a shabu shabu place, which I like. That was one of my places that I would attend regularly. So I first started, like, really getting into the idea of curry tonkatsu, but the shabu was good as well. Yeah, neither of them are there anymore, I don't think. Mr. Shabu Shabu isn't, definitely. I had tonkatsus before, but like only a couple times as takeaway, and to have it sort of made fresh made me realise what the fuss was about. Yeah. And it seemed packed, like, especially at lunchtimes, given how many public servants and big companies are around. They always had people there. I'm not really sure what happened. It wasn't like expensive. It wasn't cheap. It was middle of the road. And then salt and pepper. I have not been to Ramano, but in fact I didn't know it existed, but now that you've mentioned it, I will look that up. Oh, that was loud. Found a nice place in northern Kyoto, and hard to find, so I would imagine, I'd hope so also. In the book I'm reading at the moment, I'm just up to early 1900s and sort of how Japanese society was sort of dealing with ideas of Western cuisine, and then obviously the emergence of, I guess you'd call it fusion now. But the motivation for adopting Western style, so like wheat, white breads, beef, is largely because it was seen as one of the main reasons why sort of Anglo-Saxon cultures were dominating in terms of sort of, you know, colonial expansion at the time, was largely put, or in large part, not exclusively, but put down to diet. And so, I mean, you get this with the, you know, the opening up of Japan. You see, looking to Western advisors in terms of sort of military training structure and technology, but also industrial technologies as well. Miso is a good example of how Western sort of, you know, Western industrial technology enabled that to become a sort of mass market kind of product. Yeah, Hasjaz, well, let's do that. Maybe we should do like a Japanese tour in Canberra, you know, make the most of what we can. Darbar Indian restaurant on Lonsdale Street was super nice. Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. Should I look for references in the history of Reed House? Yeah, I'm up for that. Something else I was going to say. Yeah. Beans. I hope this is all right. Yeah, Jess can come along and tell us if we're being lied to. There's no, it's not Lonsdale Street, but on maybe it's East Row. There's the Iori, which is quite good. They do, like, as far as I know, proper bento. Like with proper pickles. I remember going there with a friend and he just picked a random bento and I think it was like daikon, like radish or something like that, or maybe like really raw pear. Anyway, it's kind of smelled like garbage, and he was a bit hungry after that outing. But yeah, Iori is good. That's been around for a very long time. That's it. Yeah, so in East Row, or at least Civic Interchange, somewhere there. I'm not sure. I would say yes. I don't know. You would want, like, you could do it with peas, perhaps, like snow peas. What else would you? But yeah, when I had this, I thought, well, this is it sort of elevates the humble bean to something a bit more three-dimensional in terms of flavour. You can request that. I still not really cooking meat. We did have some chicken the other night. So yes. I'll put it on the list. Oh. Yeah, I like daikon. And then Hasjaz, so did you end up, have you been to, just forgotten the name of the Japanese place. The name's just fallen out of my head. Oh well. Okay, so I even though I have diverged from the recipe slightly by peeling these first, whatever, I am going to boil them whole because I do want to slice them thinly. I could slice them thinly first. The reason why I think this makes a difference is once you start, once you start slicing into potato, you burst so many of the little starch. The starches are in tiny little bubbles. like little gel capsules essentially. That's why when you slice into them, you'll start to get that sort of milky, sticky residue there. And the more surface area that we have while we're cooking it, we're going to get this sort of starchy gelness to it. So I'd like to cook it first and then slice it up. It'll be less sort of gluggy because of it. Yeah, we'll work it if Shelley shows up. I'll open the door for Slit. God damn it, why can't I? We'll come back to that. Let's get another pot. I mean, maybe not peeling them first is a similar sort of rationale that I just mentioned in relation to the starch, but I don't know. Either way, it'll be fine. And I just can't be stuffed waiting for these to cool down. Okay, and then so the other component of this is like a quick pickled onion. So we take an onion, we slice it up, and then so we put that in with in a bowl with salt, and then knead well with hands to remove juice. Wash away salt under cold water several times. Squeeze out water and add to potatoes. Blend without mashing the potatoes. I assume she means like stir them to coat. That's what I'm going with. I'm not sure if it's like a language barrier thing or if this is just how you used to say stuff. It's not how I used to say stuff. And then on the side we'll just do the sort of classic rice and risoni. We'll brown the risoni in butter. And then we'll mix that in with, hello Sooty, hello. Do you want to say hello to the internet? Ooh. Say hello to the internet. Sooty, do you like Turkish food? What? No. Yeah, I hope it doesn't mean mash. Okay, let's get a little pan on. I've got a little pan that I use for risoni all the time. Come now. No fighting. Butter. They're both very interesting. They can hear the ice cream machine going in the hall and they're trying to work out what the deal is. You want to go up? No. It's not the right size. So we're not going to add all of this butter to the rice. we're using it just to brown the risotto. If you add way too much butter after this, the rice will taste like popcorn. And maybe in another context that would work, but it doesn't in this. I've made that mistake. Meanwhile, the potatoes are going to go into the other pot. Burning. Oh, sounds like cat battle. What's going on? What's the trouble? What's the trouble, you punks? How about some tuna? Want some tuna? You want some tuna? You do? Okay. Tuna's good. Tuna's good for cats. Cool. Yeah, I reckon Sooty and Whitey would make for good little Japanese cats. Sushi aficionados. Okay. I found it depends a bit on the temperature. But even then, that's not consistent. So if it's too hot, then they don't have the energy to be annoying. Certainly, it's kind of like, but with rain, kind of like rain days in primary school, they don't go outside and then they get antagonistic. All right, we'll stay here and keep an eye on these. You can see they're starting to brown. And we do want to get them fairly dark, but certainly not burnt. So that's pretty. So now I will just turn the heat off. And that's pretty good. So I'll just move these out of the way. Move our potatoes back. And so this would be like, so here you can see they're darkening. At this point, like, I'm pretty confident that they would stop cooking. If you got to this point and you were nervous, dump them out of the pan. Because yeah, you don't want them to burn, but that'll stop the process. So I'm fine with that. This is medium grain rice because it's all I've got. And it needs to be used. The cooking of the risotto wasn't too, like in the pan just then, we weren't doing that to actually cook the pasta, in the sense that, like, so we're going to dump it into the rice cooker along with the rice. They're so small, there's no doubt that they're going to cook properly there. It was for the colour. And because risotto is quite small, actually, you know what, this can be washed again. I tend not to add any additional liquid to the rice cooker for these. They're small, like by volume, there's actually not much pasta there. So you don't really need to adjust the volumes on that front. Spoon. I think I've actually got a bit much here. Yeah, I don't want any more than that. Cool. And into the old rice cooker. Wow, the beans have evaporated almost all of their liquid, which is interesting. Okay. It brings it almost to 30 minutes anyway, so let's just have a look at what else it calls for. Interesting. We just pour this mixture on top and kind of feel like mixing it in. Let's just have a look. Yeah, we'll mix it for sure. Cool. Okay. Well, we're kind of at the point now where we are... How long have we been going? An hour. Oh, that's all right. Okay, so we've just got to let the potatoes continue to cook. Those beans will go for another 30 minutes. I'm going to turn the heat down a lot, I think. I'll probably move... Actually, let's swap hobs. Yeah, bring the beans down really low. Potatoes will take another 15 minutes or something. Rice is going, dressing for the potatoes is good. We'll do the onions closer to time. Right, we're well on the way. Yeah, cool. All right, we'll go BRB for a moment. And we will check back very shortly. I just checked in on the sorbet and it's looking very sorbet-y. Which is gratifying. Now, while oh yes, yeah, there was I was trying to work out the other book that I ordered last night. So we have another medieval cookbook. That's not going to give away anything. So this looks like it has, well, you're not going to see much there, but 80 recipes, and they're collected, sort of categorized by social station, I suppose, economic position. So we'll get a range of things from, you know, poor to Regency kind of cuisine, I suppose. So I'm looking forward to that. We also got if I can. We also got, yeah, the Scottish baking, which came highly recommended by Sue Lawrence. I'm not even sure if you can see that. You know, okay, yeah. So looking forward to that. And then we also got recipes from the Highlands and the Islands of Scotland. And so this is, so in Australia and other places, you know, we have the Country Women's Association. You'll have similar in the US and the UK, and in Scotland there was absolutely a similar sort of group. And so this is originally from the Fail cookery book. So 1907 is when it was originally published. This has been updated since. There's another one on my hit list that was published about the same time and has just for, I think it's the first time in 60 years there's been a reprint of it, so we will keep an eye for that. The older versions of it were over $300 per copy, so I thought I'll leave that one alone for the time being. But it goes back to books like this. So this is Amelia Simmons. If you're into food history, you'll recognise that name. But facsimiles like these, I mean, for their size, can be surprisingly expensive. There's nothing stopping you, because I mean, you can get these on archive.org. You can get them all over the place. You could print them yourself if you really wanted to. But obviously, the market for these kinds of books are pretty small. This one wasn't too expensive, but yeah, it's kind of like with textbooks. They're only expecting a couple of, a few dozen sales, so you sort of got to bump up the price to make it worth your while. Clutie, okay. Doesn't ring a bell. I wouldn't say I'm particularly well versed in Scottish cuisine, except by being familiar with general Australian cuisine. You know, things like, I mean, our Anzac biscuits are going to come from, yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to separate the Scottish and the Irish from Australian and British cuisine. Is that rain? I think it's raining. Or at least 5 drops. Oh. I reckon we could say 300 years is. Great British Bake Off. What were we watching? We did try and watch, or we did watch the very first episode of MasterChef Australia. I've never seen MasterChef, and I don't know. Yeah, we were talking about it. That's right, because the difference between the sort of personality-driven cooking show versus, you know, an actual cooking show, and then the manufactured competition and controversy, along with all the damn ads, means that, you know, I'm fine with that. Like, and you know, I think things like Iron Chef do that kind of thing really well. Great British Menu is another good one we were talking about, where they pivoted from being this sort of antagonistic set of teams to they're going to help each other. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to watch, you know, 24 minutes worth of TV and like 8 to 10 minutes of it is advertising, I want to at least get something actionable out of it. And I'm not sure MasterChef was going to do that for me. Oh yeah, My Kitchen Rules, that's the other one. Yeah, I thought that might be the case, like it was the first show sort of setting the scene and all the rest of it. My Kitchen Rules, that's right. But yeah, I've never seen either of them. But I'll give it another couple of... We've got all of them on whatever service. But yeah, Great British Menu, I think, was the sweet spot for me, because it was interesting. A lot of sort of molecular gastronomy techniques. It's not like they give you the recipes, but it gave me ideas, and it wasn't too personality driven, I guess. Yeah, right. Because I remember there was a Canberra couple person. Because My Kitchen Rules, yeah, that's done by like region, I think. Maybe it's Channel 9's answer to MasterChef. I'm just so allergic to unskippable ads now that the tolerance has been reduced to almost zero. I'm not sure, Jess, because I'm not sure. Great British Bake Off. I think I like the... because Noel Fielding is a host of that. And Noel Fielding is funny. If that helps. I need salt for this. Been listening to a lot of the new Niels Frahm album, and it's pretty damn good. So we're covering these in salt. Now she doesn't say. I'm also just assuming that Neset is a female. Yeah, so add salt and knead well with the hands to remove the juice. I feel like we're letting it sit to allow the osmotic effect to because the sodium will attract H2O. It's pretty remarkable. It's a good demonstration as to why salt's important in a diet. How it enables fluids to move in between cells. Been watching some good physiology and anatomy videos recently. I found a channel on YouTube that actually uses actual human cadavers in their demonstrations, which is really handy. And it's you don't see too much of that on YouTube, at least, or at least not that I've seen. Starting to get some of that tomato smell happening here in the kitchen, which is a good sign. You know, I reckon this is going to overheat the camera. So I'm just going to move it out of the line of fire. You can see, how long has that been, like 30 seconds? And nearly immediately, the water is starting to come out. Oh yeah, and then I was going to then talk about like the, I guess the protocols for human dissection and how it's interesting, even in our like old like my forensics textbooks, like even though there still seems to be something like with an autopsy, say for example, like in demonstrations, they'll always cover the face in forensics textbooks. The eyes are always covered by a black sort of censored line. And I do wonder how much of that is sort of just like old school convention versus, because it's not like you don't know. So, yeah, I feel like there is definitely, and I don't know if it's more of a European thing, but certainly like in an academic context when it comes to dissections and things like that, there's the ones that I've seen are largely like German or Swedish. But you have there's a ceremony to it. No, obviously this is to sort of display some sort of respect, but I haven't seen anything like that in a modern sort of crime context, I suppose. Only academic contexts, and I can't even remember why we're talking about dead bodies. Oh yeah, the osmotic effect of sodium. Good times. Yeah, we'll give that longer. The only other thing, we are actually sans olives this evening, which is okay, I think. The rice is popped, so we'll just give that a bit of a stir. And let it steam for a bit. We'll take a quick look at the beans, just because I'm as curious as you guys are. Yeah, that's looking good. It smells. I think I'm on to the recipe that I was pursuing. It is tragic. I'm not sure where my bucket load of olives from Georgiopolis are. I haven't heard from them for a while. Maybe they're down the coast. But yeah, that's the thing. Is my camera fallen out of... Again. The other thing I need to do is set up a LUT so that my face camera is more closely aligned to the color profile of my top-down camera. That's the wrong way. That's too far. Oh my god. That's gonna have to do. No, just a touch more. Oh, that's too much. Oh my god. No, I'll do this offline. Okay. Cool. So we'll rinse these as well. Yeah, no, it's I've realised that it matters more to me than other people. Yeah, okay, we're pretty much yeah. Not sure if squeezing this, oh yeah, I see. This works very well on things like eggplant and zucchini. In fact, I think we discussed it last stream in relation to drying out the zucchini for the fritters. So I'm gonna, oh yeah. Actually, that's quite a lot of onion liquid. So doing this apart from removing the moisture is going to not cook, but remove some of the acridity of the that sort of raw onion action. But then she says to rinse it a lot. So presumably we're talking about avoiding a really salty mix. And then I wonder, well then why... Yeah, I have questions about this cookbook, I've decided. Because then you would squeeze it again. I mean, I'm sure it'll taste fine. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, you certainly do, but I wonder, the timing seems like rinse and then squeeze again. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Because I have made the mistake of not doing that in the past and then have ended up with some very, very salty zucchini fritters. The reason why I did it on purpose. I was just trying to work out whether or not I could sort of leave some of it in to avoid, you know, to not need to season it so much at the end. Turns out it was way too much. Yeah, I think actually I would have probably might be scope for a bit of an experiment. I think the key thing is rinsing and getting the water off it quick enough so that it doesn't sort of reabsorb. Whoops. Where's my... It's almost there. No cocktail. I'm not sure why. Actually, you know what I want? Got some chilled water. That's what I want. Yeah, what was I looking at? The history of the sidecar and like a Cointreau and other orange liqueur. Not blind tasting, but like comparisons. Triple sec. Technically not. Wait, is it an orange liqueur? But yeah, so what? Okay, my lights are working tonight. What was I saying? Oh yeah, going to do for my next Monkey Island video, looking at doing some sort of custom cocktail. Is that like, so I make a cocktail recipe myself. All of these that I've done in video form have existed in one form or another prior to me filming them. But I want to do a bloody lip, and so I feel like it's going to play on, you know, a little bit of a cosmopolitan Bloody Mary, but then straight up like cranberry and gin something. Definitely going to do it in one of my new martini glasses. But yeah, so that's the next thing that I'm working on. Cranberry is a bloody winner. And I didn't get around to it, but I have a stack of next stream. We'll probably be doing some something a little bit different. I might start a bit earlier, and we are going to do. I need to set up a whole bunch of things. So I'm going to make some grenadine, which is pomegranate, like pomegranate syrup. Essentially, we need some simple syrup. I need some gum syrup, and also I want to do some pickling and some flavored oils as well. Now that I've got garlic, I've got a ton of chilies for $2. That way, and I've got a lot of nice bottles that are empty. So I want to do like a pickling and preserving and like oil making stream, I suppose. Maybe just at the beginning of a normal stream. But that's the idea at this stage. Yeah. Oh, and do I have enough time? Hang on. I'll put it up in Discord, but I'll show you here. So I had quite a successful attempt at, so the presentation not so much, it was more like the chemistry behind it. And I'll put this up in Discord. But if you have a look here, what you can see is what looks like a fried egg, but it's not. What that is roast capsicum puree in a gel sphere plated on top of a bechamel sauce, and on the side there is it's kind of like a teriyaki flavored yakitori, so it has sweet potato and carrot on the side, skewered with rosemary. The purpose of it, so when you cut into what looks like to be the egg yolk, the capsicum liquid bursts out of it like a yolk. Well, this is forming part of my grand plans for my science fiction menu. And so this is done with calcium carbonate and sodium alginate, which I still have a bath of. It really doesn't look like anything more than, well, it just looks like it's a clear, it's a solution. So this is sodium alginate, and then when you mix it with the puree and then add it into this, it forms a soft gel around whatever liquid that you've put it in. And so you can get these sort of spheres, sort of gelatinous spheres, or other shapes potentially, that are solid on the outside and liquid on the inside. So that was a proof of concept for something. But quite simple to do once you've got it all set up. The ratios are pretty important. So I would like to try with alcohols. It's a little bit more complicated because they're much more runny. Like, they don't freeze, they don't become particularly viscous. Alcohol doesn't really, well, pure alcohol doesn't freeze. Emerson the magpie, use your back as a launching pad. Good old magpies. How's what's the orphan magpie's name again? These are done. Emu. Emu? I am going to take these off the heat. I reckon that's that. Oh, I see. That's a bit more of a. That's a nicer name. Waldo Emerson. That's what it makes me think of. Just going to run a little bit of cold water over these to stop the process. Well, I'm going to have to, on Saturday I have to name 2 new chickens. What are we missing? I saw there's a like a bent wing magpie out the front yesterday. Okay. And given the auto door, I was thinking perhaps something sci-fi, something a bit Star Trek, but it's a little bit too obvious. Yeah. You can't really name something until you see it anyway, I say. Yeah, well, it sounds like they've made a break for freedom, and they probably jumped out the back of KFC out the little serving window where the drive-through is, and made a break for it. So that'll be good. That will be nice because yeah, it's very sad having one chicken that's lonely. I can tell you. This is looking exactly how I wanted it to. Now, you would wait longer. Maybe over. Or maybe I will wait longer because these are quite soft. Yeah. What we're making here is essentially a potato salad. No, I think I might have overcooked them. That's all right. Put them in a cold bowl. Yes, adding new chickens to the flock is always a stressful time for the chickens and the humans, because they just don't know what to make of it. You know, it is, because how do you got no concept of Fishwick or other chickens being brought by car and then suddenly showing up on your doorstep. It's really quite surprising for a chicken. At least that was Yoko's reaction, and it very hard to comprehend. But given time, like I mean, that's the after watching them, and they chickens are very sociable and they like to move in flocks, and so it's you know, after a while they get used to it. I guess it's like getting a new roommate. You know, first little while can be stressful. But in the end, as long as they pay their rent in scratch mix, you'll be fine. I wonder if this is like a serve on a platter. Kind of. Now we haven't heard from Shelley yet, so what we're going to do, we're going to go BRB. We're going to see what Shelley's doing, and then we're done. This just needs to be combined, and then we're good to go. So we will return very shortly and wrap it up. Okay.
Okay.
We're going with tay chunks. And we need to be very gentle on this front. And just for something different, we're going to serve it on a platter tonight.
Serve it forth.
Serve it forth. Indeed. It's just like a light potato salad. Doesn't all have to be Russian style with the mayo, you know. And then this is essentially goes on top, I think is what she said. And then we're done. While that just sits for a moment, we'll have a look at this sorbet. Okay, no, it says to add it, but I'll keep some as garnish as well. This is like classic, like with the last stream's recipes. We've got some serious like picnic and buffet dishes on our hands. Yep, vinegar, like the acidic and potato. It's one of my favorite combos. Let's have a look at this. Oh. To be honest, I think this is what I'm most excited about. What have we got? Texture. I mean, this is actually sorbet texture, right? Straight up. Oh man, that is good news. For sure. I can't think of anything more refreshing, to be honest. I could probably eat this whole tub. You know, what I would do, I would reduce the sugar content even further. Or maybe up the lemon a little bit. That's that's very good. Hooray. Good. So let's just get it out and I'll just put it in the fridge for the moment. Yeah, that's a winner. Yeah, I'll even take a half a cup out even. I'm not sure what that would do to the texture, but I think it would be all right. All right.
Is that using the segmented lemons?
Yep, so this is Dom's segmented lemons, some mint, Jess's machine. It's a bloody collaboration. Yeah. It might taste a bit more sweet to me at the moment because those segmented lemons were sweeter than normal lemons. I will see. All right, let's wrap it up. It's 2 hours. I lost track because normally when Shelley comes out, I sort of know that it's close to dinner time. But then Shelley was stuck in meetings. I think it would, yeah. Yeah. I would reduce. If you're using normal lemons, I would also reduce the sugar content Yeah. Because to me, I'd be happy with just a touch of sugar in something like that. And then rice.
Mega fancy.
So next time you're having a Turkish dinner party, you know, as one often does. This way I think I would serve it forth like this. Because it can be, and actually probably should be, cold, or at least, yeah, it doesn't have to be piping hot. And I don't have any more room. How do you decorate such a thing? I guess it's just going to be parsley. You should, Jess. Sounds like a hazard. So, we're done. What have we got? We have, well, tonight we have made in the space of 2 hours, 4 dishes. We have our potatoes a la Turc, which is basically just a lemon potato salad with quick pickled onions. Then we have the green beans Istanbul, which is what triggered it all. And then we have our classic rice and roast risoni. I don't know what they call it in Turkey, or even if they serve it in Turkey. And then we have our lemon and mint sorbet. So now I was actually got around to watching one of my VODs the other night, and I've realized that I haven't updated my damn highlights reel for ages. So I need to be a bit more disciplined in actually doing the food porn side of things. For better or for worse. And probably tasting it would make sense at this stage. Man, I just want to eat that sorbet. All right. Actually, well, I'm going to start with the beans because I must know. That's pretty close. That's a bean end. That's close. A bit more salt. Maybe some, if you poached it in stock or something. It's close. It's very close.
I think it did taste kind of infused with stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon that's what it is. But that's good. That's a good way because you have at the back of it, you have an oniony kind of kick, but it's not like, oh, here's onion. It's like onions here, but it's standing in the corner, while the party is beans and tomato. Not really sure why I'm using party metaphors right now, but that's what we're doing. And then the potato salad. Yeah. I'm going to do more like this. Because, yeah, like I said, you sort of get, generally, I'm using mayo and sour cream, sort of Russian style. But this is a much lighter way to do it. And it's nice to have the acidity sort of cut through the heaviness of the potato. And then the rice, which is an easy win. Cool. That's that, home skillets. Yep. And as it cooled, like I can tell already. I would say that the flavour would develop quite nicely as it all cooled. Yeah. Wrap it up, put it in the fridge, take it to your next party down by the lake.
Potluck.
Yeah, your next potluck. And have a good time.
I will have a good time.
Yes, you will. I have in the past as well, Jess. I just kind of forgot about it for some reason. Yeah. And then the mustard, again, not sure if it was supposed to be powder. Whole grain works very well with that. So, all right. Well, we're done. Easy. We're going to eat this, and that's going to be that. Yeah. Next stream we'll do something a bit different. I think we're going to do some gel bombs and some. We'll use some isomalt as well, definitely. So the broad plan, thematically speaking, I'm looking to make an isomalt, a coloured isomalt sail, or like a cup, and then I want a gel, maybe like a citrus bomb or a white wine, maybe a couple, sitting within that isomalt shell, and then as the dessert it will sort of like crack, but then also burst. That's the idea anyway. We will see. I feel like I'm getting closer. Like, it's taken a while, but every time I do it, because they're pretty unfamiliar.
It was awesome, the trial.
You can request vegetarian Moroccan one day as well. Actually, there's another thing. Yeah, so what we should do is do some preserved lemons. I have a huge tagine that rarely gets used. It's big. We don't need a tagine that big to cook for two people. But yeah, preserved lemons, absolutely. Yes, good thinking. Yeah, maybe once we move out of Turkey, we'll head across to Morocco.
Is saffron?
Yeah, you get saffron there as well. Did you know, just before we end it, it takes about 140,000 flowers to make a kilo of saffron strands? And about 2 hours to process about 100 grams by hand. And you're looking at the moment about like $3,000 a kilo. So.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
They're really pretty flowers. Like they're beautiful. But yeah, God.
What gets me about that is more who figured that out.
Yeah, because it's not actually, apart from the color, which is awesome. It's like it's bitter. And it smells like a little bit like earthen. The smell's better than the taste. It actually tastes a bit astringent.
Yeah, it needs other flavours.
Yeah, absolutely. But, it's unlike with overdoing it spices in earlier cuisines, it's primarily, I think, a prestige thing. But it does play an actual culinary role. But it's a long way of saying I don't actually have any saffron at the moment.
I don't think I've ever personally used it.
I had some Saudi saffron. I think it was like $30 for this little plastic block. I remember when Hazjaz came back from Bali and she brought me a kilo bag of saffron, which she got for like $1.50, I think. I'm not sure if she's still online.
What was it? Straw or something?
Yeah, just like
dyed orange.
Yes, well, yeah. It can be little strips of paper with dye on it. It can be like it's a big market for counterfeiting. I don't know about ethically harvested, but your fingers would be sore after a while. All right, well, we're going to leave it there. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for following along. If you are interested, most of you are in there already. But join the Discord if you would like, and we will post these recipes. I've scanned them, and we will catch you all again soon. I was going to say enjoy your weekend, but it's Thursday. But if I don't talk to you before, then enjoy your weekend.
Happy Friday for tomorrow.
Happy Friday for tomorrow. All right. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. Why has it not ended? End.